evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, a recent change in the city's school calendar has some parents upset, and they think the City Board of Mayor and Aldermen should help with the solution. The GFWC Women's Club has stepped up with a big contribution to assist improvements to the South Jackson Civic Center. And Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell will give us a valuable information on how drivers should react in caution lights. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Some Tullahoma parents are upset about a new school calendar and think the city board should hold a referendum on the issue. Here are some comments from Monday night's board meeting.
I'm Jacqueline Parks. I live at 117 Reagan Street here in Tullahoma. What I wanted to actually talk to you guys about this evening was our calendar change. You all know it's been a very hot topic for the past couple weeks. And it's my understanding that the aldermen have the go-ahead to be able to push that to a referendum. As a parent, as a community citizen, I'd like to suggest that y'all maybe consider that. There's a lot of aspects to this idea that should be considered both as a community and as officials in the community. Summer slide is a very real thing. By 9th grade, it can cause low-income children to fall as many as 3 grade levels behind. Our 2-week calendar, I know there's been a lot of discussion about vacations and parents wanting to take vacations. We have to think beyond that. It allows our band program and our language clubs to take the trips they take. Trips that these children would not have the opportunity to do otherwise. One of the things that's been put forth by the school board is the idea that there are children going without food during those 2-week breaks, which frankly is simply not true. Those of you that are familiar with 5 Loaves for Children know that not only do they provide backpacks on Fridays, but they also have begun during the breaks providing a grocery cart full of food for those families. Laura Daniel, who does tutoring here in town, testified to the board last week that despite the fact that we're no longer doing intercession, there are more children being tutored during that time period than any other time of the year. You know, we have these high school seniors that are impressive kids that are dual enrolled in high school and college. They need those 2 weeks. Let's talk about the trips. Let's talk about school trips, or I'm sorry, family trips. We're allowing families to take family vacations during non-peak times. Families that might not be able to afford to go to Disney in summer and have that experience with their children. But in October, when it's hurricane season in Florida, they can afford to go. You know, and we all know vacations are enriching for children. My biggest thing as a family, a blended family, are the children of divorce. Parenting plans that are already in place, that are already built around our school schedule. My children are high school children. We have freshmen, sophomore, and a senior at this point. For the longest time, we split those 2 weeks. Whoever was doing whatever with the kids during the first week took them during the first week. The other parent got the second week. I look back at it, my husband used to be an every other weekend parent. Those 2 weeks were golden for him. I think it's unfair to say, well, because we think this might be a problem, let's change the entire schedule that's going to affect all these children more than just this small group we're talking about that we as a community should be responsible for. You know, people are not wanting this change. I'm not against change. but I'm against change just for change. And I feel like this is a discussion that needs to be had as a community, not as 7 people making a decision. 5, when you take into consideration that Mr. Lynn and Amy Johnson both voted against this. Roughly 10% of our voting population in 48 hours was against this idea. We're up to somewhere 209, 210 at this point. Over 200.
The only part that affects us is your very first question, and I don't know the answer to that, but I will confer with Mr. Worsham and Mr. Baltz tomorrow to see if that's appropriate or not appropriate, okay?
First of all, myself and Ms. Dunn, we've been into this schedule for a long, long time. If you were to ask most of our teachers at Tullahoma High School what they would rather have, that would be, we have the 2 weeks off. It would not be 1 week. Most of them would die to keep 2 weeks instead of 1 week. Why in the world would we ask our teachers and our parents what they thought they wanted to do and then absolutely turn and vote against it? I don't understand.
Well, again, it's not our decision, Mr. Mathis.
I understand that, but I'm a citizen also.
I understand that, and I recognized you. That's fine, but it's not our decision.
We elect a school board, and we you know, and Coach Mathis and I had a talk before, that this is their main responsibility. Our main responsibility is for the city as a whole, but I was not elected to make school board decisions. I've been the liaison to the school board, and I found out right quick that, you know, I'm a conduit. I'm not the one that making the decisions on that. That's why we elect you, you know. I do not want to get in the middle of this, and just me personally. I didn't run for school board. I ran for alderman. So, you know, I would be hard pressed to bring it to a referendum, even though, you know, that may be the state statute, Tennessee Code annotated, that says we can do that. You know, the people of Tullahoma elected me to be an alderman, not a school board member. So you may be barking up the wrong tree with some of us.
There was one person that came in and suggested, based on their opinion, that it would be a better teaching model to include a couple of those days from the previous week before they get out. No research, nothing to back it up. I'm sitting here just telling you exactly, I was there when it came about. We tabled it for a year after some discussion because it was not, you know, favorite where everybody was on board right then. We had that year to study. Yes.
You know, and I say this with all respect.
Sure.
This is just not the venue or the forum at this point for that. I appreciate the ladies being here. I appreciate you being here.
Thank
you. But let us do some work. You know, I think the venue and the forum is about half a mile down the road. But I say that respectfully. I say that respectfully. You know, so anyway. Yes. So if you please conclude, and so we can move on.
We'll be back in a moment after these messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Keith Barnett here with the Russell Barnett Automotive family. Over 75% of car shoppers today use the internet to search for their new or pre-owned vehicle. That's why the russellbarnett.com website is so versatile, where you can check it anytime, all the time, online. You can search through our new and pre-owned inventory by make, model, mileage, or price. We can value your trade-in and get you pre-approved for financing before you even walk in the door. So check out russellbarnett.com, and remember, why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. I spoke with Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell about caution lights in the city. Since the last time I talked to you, I've had occasions where I've been a little frustrated with people on going through lights when they're yellow, and also turning right on red, because I've had instances where just because you turn right on red doesn't mean you're supposed to stop.
Right. It's not a freebie. I mean, it is somewhat confusing.
Yeah.
But in Tennessee, the law is that you can turn right on red if it's not posted otherwise. But like you say, you must come to a complete stop first.
Yeah.
Now I could throw some other buts in there, exceptions, but that would convolute muddy the waters basically.
Yeah, and for instance on Jackson and Cedar Lane, where Cedar Lane comes in.
I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah, that's exactly where I'm talking about.
If you're coming from North Washington, you have an arrow.
That's right.
And you assume you have the right of way as you turn left, and but the people coming down Cedar Lane, I don't think they realize that you have an arrow, so they refuse. They don't fail to
That's
stop.
a strange. It's a strange intersection.
It is
not only the way it's laid out.
Yeah.
But if you come from Washington Street, the lane next to Zaxby's is actually a right turn lane.
Right.
If you look, there's a yield sign there.
Yeah.
You don't have to come to a complete stop there.
Right.
You can continue to roll on around
Right.
if it's clear. Same thing if you're coming south on Jackson at Hardee's, there's a dedicated lane to turn right.
Right.
When you have that dedicated lane and a yield sign, you don't have to come to a complete stop. Now that probably muddied everything I just said, but a good rule of thumb is if the light's red and you're going to turn right, come to a complete stop and make sure that there's no traffic.
Right, exactly.
And then you talk about the yellow lights. There's a state standard that a yellow light can be no less than 3 seconds in duration. Mm-hmm. So we'll hear people talk about it's a quick yellow. No, it's not. They're 3 seconds. That's state law.
Right.
And 3 seconds is a long time. So when these people say I couldn't stop, there are those opportunities or those situations where you're right at the safety line and it turns yellow and you have to go on through. But there's plenty of time to anticipate. If the light's been green for quite a while, it's about to turn. It's inevitable.
Right.
But the state law changed a couple years ago that says if your front wheels get beyond the safety line when it turns red, so if it's yellow and you cross that safety line, then it turns red, you're okay.
Yeah.
That you're not in violation of the statute. That's going to be a perception thing. Me as the police officer, okay, did your front tires get over the safety line, or were they just this side? But the best rule of thumb for that is approaching a vehicle, a light. If it's been green for a while, anticipate it's going to change. Start slowing down. As we've said in here, the yellow light does not mean speed up. It means prepare to stop.
Right.
Caution. And that's a big complaint that we get a lot, are people running the red lights.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we can't put an officer at the red lights 24/7 to try to enforce that. And so basically it's if we see it, we enforce it, but we can't sit there. What the alternative is.
Yeah.
And we don't even use those words.
Right.
They're not
right.
We don't use those kind of cameras.
Right.
And
exactly.
And there's no talk of using them.
Right.
But I could see how if you have just an overload of complaints, that might have to be your remedy. Those electronic things.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. The Tullahoma Wildcats football team is off to a great start this season, sporting a 2-0 record, heading into a tough home game this Friday night with 8th-ranked Marshall County. John Gray spoke with head coach John Olive about the challenges his team faces this week.
Big ball game, first home opener for us. The tailgate party will take place down at the park on that Friday afternoon. We play Marshall County. Marshall County is the defending champion. They're picked to be champions again. They're one of the elite 4A programs in our state, and they're loaded for bear. They beat Shelbyville last night like a drum.
55-27.
And so anyway,
fill the stands.
We'll have our hands full, but I think our people will be proud of the effort that we'll give. And we'll get after them and see if we can't find a way to maybe go 3-0 for the first time in a long time.
Heather Cunningham was the honorary alderman at this week's city board meeting. Let's watch as she is introduced.
We'll get to some recognitions here in just a moment, but first we'd like to recognize our new honorary alderman tonight, Heather Cunningham. We're very pleased that she's with us this evening. She is a senior at Tullahoma High School and very active in school. She's a member of the Mayor's Youth Council. She's a volunteer for several activities here in Tullahoma, including Breakfast with Santa, as I mentioned, the Mayor's Youth Council, Bark in the Park. She's also involved in health screenings. She's she'll tell us a little bit more about this, I hope, in just a minute, but she plans to be a nurse, and she's taken anatomy and physiology and English 4 and some online classes. So welcome, Ms. Cunningham. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, please.
Well, like you were saying, the high school is just now starting that. It's a great opportunity for high schoolers to become a registered nursing aide before they graduate, which is a great opportunity. And out of that, for Montlow and MTSU, they're offering 2 full-ride scholarships with people who have high GPA in that class. And that is something I'm really looking forward to do. Yeah, so I am a senior. I will be doing track this year. That's possibly one of my favorite things. I like to run. That's it.
Tell us about you're starting a new job.
Oh, okay. Yes, I am starting a new job at the new restaurant. What used to be Fast Jack's, I'm waitress at 122 West. I'm really enjoying it. I also work at DW. I'm a lifeguard, and I do another job at Walmart where I do the sampler tables.
Very good. Well, we're pleased to have you tonight, and in a few minutes we'll call on you to give a report on any other activities that you'd like to report on. But at the time being, please stand there at your desk, and we'll present you a certificate recognizing you as the honorary alderman tonight.
Members of the Tullahoma Women's Club have been working hard lately to raise funds to make major improvements at the South Jackson Civic Center. They presented the check to the city Monday night.
A couple of years or so ago, I proposed to the aldermen, and they agreed, and the city administration agreed as well, that South Jackson Civic Center is a landmark in our community, and it's been a landmark for over 100 years or so. And it just seemed appropriate that if we were going to keep it as an asset, is that we maintain it and we develop it. And so I suggested to the alderman that if we could find an organization in the community that was willing to raise money on behalf of South Jackson Civic Center, that the city government would match that up to $100,000. And look what happened. So I want to recognize all of you in just a minute, but Ms. Keene, who's also a member of the General Federation of Women's Clubs, if any comments that you'd like to make, and then I think that you and the other ladies have a presentation you'd like to make.
Yes, well, On behalf of the GFWC Centennial Women's Club and this sea of aqua and turquoise back here, these ladies have worked for 3 years, long and hard, to be able to work in these funds. And Kathy Orr and Sandy Lindeman have co-chaired this, and the countless hours that they have given to our community need to be commended. Those two have put forth so much of an effort and guided our club and everyone in our club. I mean, it's been 100% participation in so many things. But to have a club to give what we have done, but with their leadership, just really needs to be commended. I mean, you just can't imagine how many hours go into preparing fundraiser after fundraiser and going out in the community and begging for money. We're not quite finished because we want to get that $100,000. So we've got a few more things to do, but just a plug. If you'd like to send a check in, we would take it, I'm sure. So you can get in touch with any of the Centennial Women's Club women. They would be more than glad to do that because we really would like to be able to make that $100,000. But to get started on this first phase, we have a check that we would like to present to the city. Sandy, Kathy, and Martha are going to lead this little program. If y'all would stand out here, and then the rest of the ladies, I want y'all to come up here. So on behalf of the GFWC Centennial Women's Club, we present a check for $86,000.
And we'll be right back in a moment.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett Auto Rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We are here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Community Coordinator Winston Brooks stopped by our studios recently to bring us an up-to-date on several ongoing projects in the city.
There's so many exciting activities going on in Tullahoma. I just want to share a few of those with you and
fill
the
us in
viewers.
on the latest and greatest.
The latest and greatest is two things. A couple of projects that are going on that I think the community will be interested to know about. Is number one is the downtown Wi-Fi will be installed today. So what that means is you may see the TUA crews out there on the poles and installing the access points. There'll be a little bit more testing, and within a few weeks, I think that Wi-Fi network will go live.
Go live.
And so we're looking forward to that to help the visitors down there stay longer. We're going to hopefully attract some of the pass-through traffic that comes through and to convince them to stop in. And then the other part of that project is we're working with the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, and they're going to bring some of their students down and train the business owners, and they're also going to host several public seminars.
Oh, great.
So that'd be great to get the word out on how best to use that Wi-Fi for marketing, and then also the public seminars will also have some interesting information for the public at large about Wi-Fi networks in general, and the Tullahoma Wi-Fi network, the downtown Tullahoma Wi-Fi.
And this is free.
It's free. It's a pilot project, and hopefully, if this goes well, we'll expand it to other areas of the community. Because why not?
Why not?
We're a gig
exactly.
city.
We're a gig city.
And TUA is a great partner to work with, so we're lucky to have them and lucky to have all the leadership that we've got in this town to keep moving it forward. We also have got a Get Fit Tullahoma event that starts tonight in partnership with Mach 10 Running Club out at Fraser McEwen Park, 6 p.m. The third annual Couch to 5K. So if you want to run 3.2 miles with a great group of people, I mean, there's usually about 100 people, and then they divide you up into like everything from people who think they can run it in 7-minute miles to 10, 15-minute miles, divide up, and they'll train you for the next 6 weeks, and they are the only cost is to sign up for the Jack Dash in Lynchburg, and the group will then complete that race right there. There's some other races coming up too that you could do, but it's a great training opportunity, and so many people now have gone through that program and really changed their lifestyle, and they're very thankful for the Mach 10 Running Club having gotten them off the couch, so to speak.
Okay, I know you might have something else that I'm going to ask one. The Greenway, what's happening with the Greenway? I know we were making plans to go from the Senior Center on over to Lincoln Street. How's all of that working?
Well, we are still making progress on that, and right now we're in negotiation with easements.
Oh, okay.
And so that if we can get the easements, we've got the money, and we're going to make it happen. Right now, we're just having a little bit of difficulty nailing down the route because of
easements,
private property.
Private property, but we're working on that, and that'll be great when that happens.
Oh yeah. No, that's one of the main things that Mayor Curley and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen want to do is continue to extend our greenway system, our walkability, and that's part of that Cool and Connected project, which was part of the Wi-Fi project, was connecting our community to the business districts, to the neighborhoods, through pedestrian path.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is an Australian Shepherd mix named Beery, who entered the shelter as a stray. He's approximately 3 years old, up to date on his vaccinations, neutered, heartworm negative, on flea and tick preventive medicine, and good with other dogs and children. Be sure to check out the shelter on Facebook for information about upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Lady. She is a collie mix who needs a home as soon as possible. The shelter has also many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Saturday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252 in Manchester. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Dr. Credit here from Russell Barnett Kia. Are you needing a vehicle but don't think it's possible because of your current credit situation? Great news, it is possible. But don't just take it from me. Here's a few of our satisfied customers and what they had to say.
Not only did they take the time to get to know me and my wants, they found me someone to finance me with my bad credit and got me the car of my dreams.
Dr. Credit, come see him, he's great. He can help you. I know he can, he helped me.
Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1951 at 101 degrees. The record low was in 1946 at 46 degrees. Average high on this day is 87 and the average low is 64. Rain and more rain possible tonight in the forecast. Actually not possible, but quite likely, with a low expected of around 66. Rain continues in the forecast for Friday with a high of 72 and a low of 59, and a 30% chance of rain on Saturday with a high of 78 and a low of 64. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6 wishes you and your families a terrific weekend. Thank you.